What is going on, YouTube, and welcome to the OnePride Podcast, where we talk all things Detroit Lions news and rumors, and I am not by myself today. I am with my guest, and we got none other than the great Dern with me. What's going on, Dern?
Hey, what's going on, guys? It's been a little while. I kind of wanted to start off this with a heavy heart. A friend got into a motorcycle accident, a fellow Lions fan, and I kind of wanted to just give him a shout out and say rest in peace, my brother, Paul Haugen. Rest in peace, man. You will be missed.
Definitely, bro. Rest in peace to Dern's friend. God bless him and his family in this tough times right now, and to get better. We also got Antonio Hightower with us. What's going on, Antonio Hightower? And he didn't hear us, but that's okay. We're just going to go ahead and talk right now. There's a lot of news going on, folks. A lot of news regarding our Detroit Lions, and one of just literally happened. The Detroit Lions, yes, released Nick Bawden. What is going on with that, Dern? What do you think about Nick Bawden?
Well, I mean, he's always hurt, so I don't think anyone is surprised by this. I'm not, at least. I mean, if it were up to our boy, he was going to be our quarterback, our linebacker, our lineman. He couldn't do no wrong, but I think it's a good thing he's been released.
Yeah, I think when it comes to Nick Bawden getting released, it was really important for the Detroit Lions really to focus on being healthy, and he has never been healthy. And I know this is Trock's guy. I know he loves Nick Bawden. With that said, if you can't stay healthy, you're not going to be on the team. The best ability is availability. We've seen what it's like not having that, and that's not what we need. We need people to be healthy. We need to be people on the field, and that's the most important part of this whole thing, Dern. I mean, anything more you want to add on to the Nick Bawden era?
Not really. I hope he gets a job somewhere, another opportunity. Just stay healthy, man. It's the way things happen because I have talent. It's just his time up in Detroit.
Absolutely. And we got Smiles Place, Jorge, Troxel, Sports Streams, Go Lions, DoorDash Dad, Jorge again, Linda Brennan, 9 Drinks Lions, Go Lions, everybody's in the building. B. Taylor, it's been a minute. Haven't seen you in a minute, B. Taylor. Welcome to the podcast here. Carolina guy, big fan there. Appreciate you coming in. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Right now we're at 11 likes with 26 in the building, so let's get to 26 likes. I think that would be absolutely fantastic. And when Antonio Hightower gets his stuff straight away, he will be in here as well. Our 7th-round rookie last year, he got suspended, Dern, for the first 3 games due to
Cornell?
Yeah, Cornell. What do you think about that, man?
I mean, I don't. It was the first that I heard of it when you brought it up. So, I mean, I hope he didn't mean to take substance abuse that is not in the rules of the NFL. I hope he didn't do it on purpose and he just think he didn't want to get caught. But, I mean, there are other, how do I say, like drugs that can trigger that test. I think, who was it last year that said they were unknowingly taking an illegal substance in the NFL and they got suspended.
And I think that crazy noise is Antonio Hightower. Is that you, Antonio
I think
Hightower?
That's Tone.
Oh, wait, hello?
Yeah, you're here. I hear you, man. Yeah, you're
great.
here.
There he is.
Tone, so what do you got to say, man? Nick Bawden was released.
I'm not surprised. I thought he was going to get released last year. I don't know why they didn't keep him over our other tight end, Nada. Nada, it's kind of him with better. And he can play tight end. But I'm not surprised. I figured it would happen eventually. I wonder if this means if a fullback isn't really going to be that big of a thing in his offense, or does that mean the other fullback we got, who was the former linebacker, does that mean he's just going to be the guy now?
Cabinda?
Jason Kabinda?
Yeah, Kabinda. Yeah.
Yeah, in all honesty, man, I just think it was the fact that he's injured all the time. We do have Jason Kabinda. I think that's really the primary reason. We're trying to change a culture here, and one of the issues is injuries. I think this has plagued our team for some time. What do you guys think in the comment section about the Lions releasing Nick Bawden? Do you like the release? Why for yes and for no? And I will shout your comment out. Mike, is Bryce setting up his cream for great day? 9 drinks. Golden Tate, I heard about that. I don't know if that stuff is real, though. I seen that tweet that him turning down coming to Detroit and the Lions were going to sign Todd Gurley. I do think that's for real. Super chat by none other than the great Travis Doyley, $5. I take work off just for you, MicroMike, because you told me to be here. Oh, my God. Oh, man, I didn't mean you to take work off, bro, just to get on here.
But that money, bro.
God bless you, man. Hey, I appreciate you. I wasn't trying to say take work off. Smiles Place says why. Corey Batten, why. Art Allen, why. Jorge says sure thing. Carolina guy says I don't even know him, so why not? So, hey, he is the fullback that's no longer on the football team. Yes, Bawden was injured too much. Absolutely, that was the fact, for sure. Antonio Hightower, quick question for you when it comes to Cornell. He was suspended the first 3 games of the year. Does he actually make this roster the first 53?
It's going to be tough. Depends what's going to happen with Nick Williams because, they just drafted 2 DTs. You got to count in Hand and Pennicini. Those 2 are almost they're pretty likely going to make the team, and you got to beat out. It just depends if they're going to keep 5D tackles and who that's going to be because they're going to be biting with Nick Williams, and Nick Williams is nothing special, but he's good enough to be a depth piece on a roster. So really, it's going to be tough for him to make the roster. I'd rather see him make the roster than a guy like Nick Williams because at least he's young with potential. I already know what I'm gonna get out of a guy Nick Williams, but right now, it's not looking that great.
I just got a new member to the Wood League. Bryce S. just became a member. Hey, shout out to you, Bryce S. I appreciate it, man. And hey, that's what it's all about. I got to get some more content on just for you guys out there. I've been working on this setup for so long. It's kind of been taking my every single move. And 9 Drinks says, just make it clear. I said, Mike is setting up his screen because this is going to be good. 1D autocorrect. Absolutely. This is, hey, I put in a lot of work in this thing, and I hope you guys enjoy it, and I truly appreciate it. Let's talk now, Dern, about the bigger news, how Mr. Dan Campbell decided to talk about how he wants to get Todd Gurley on this roster. Now, he made a statement today. He said he'd like to have him on the roster and sign him sooner rather than later. He said it's not an indication on the current running backs that we got. He just likes Todd Gurley.
Well, yeah, it makes total sense. And like I told you before we started, I haven't seen anything probably for the past week. I've been really busy with work. But it doesn't surprise me because they don't want to wear down one running back. It's going to be probably maybe an insurance policy or something like that. I've heard that term thrown out there, which I agree with completely. You don't want to wear down your young guys to be exactly like Todd Gurley was, where his knee or is with his knees being terrible. When one, it needs a breath, just throw another one in, or one gets hurt, you have a replacement instead of not knowing what you're going to do. So it makes total sense to me.
Yeah, 100%. I think Antonio Hightower, I think it does make sense from that perspective when it comes to getting Todd Gurley. I know a lot of people may be upset about it or maybe not like this concept of not having or not just going straight to other aspects such as Swift. But what do you think about this Antonio Hightower? What do you think, Antone? I don't know what's going on with you, man.
Well, can you not hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Hello? Oh, I was talking for like a few seconds. I'm not the hugest fan of it. I get it for depth reasons. Even though I think if we're doing it for depth reasons, there's other running backs that fit that same depth. What I'm worried about is I don't want him taking away any real significant snaps from our other 3 running backs. Because this is a year you got to find out what you got with Jamar Jefferson, what you got from Swift, what Williams is going to look like behind this offensive line, and how you can prepare for the future. That's what I really don't. That's what I'm just worried about. It's really only that. Like, I don't want him taking any significant snaps unless one of those guys gets injured or is in a point where they're not playing well, so you just put him in there. But other than that, I don't see a problem with it.
Marcus Robinson says, what up, though, from Florida? We finally have a real football minds taking care of business and putting a winner together. I love that concept. Absolutely, man. Definitely. I see people laughing out there. Can Todd Gurley be productive as 2018? I don't think he needs to be productive like he was in 2018. I think he needs to be a quality third down back. That's really it. That's all I'm kind of really looking for Todd Gurley. He's 26 years old, almost at 700 yards rushing, 9 touchdowns. Lions are going to be running a lot more than we've done in the past. That's the thing. I think we're so used to the concept of where we're not running as much, but I think we're going to be running a lot more this year, particularly than we have in the last 12 years. And I actually want the signing. I'm really excited, Dern, to have Todd Gurley on this football team because I just want us to run the football consistently on all the downs. And I think that kind of puts it in the notch in the coffin, suggesting that this is a running first team.
Oh, absolutely. And it's something that we haven't seen any regime, like the last 4 regimes, to actually put emphasis on the running game instead of leaning on Matthew Stafford. It's always been on Stafford, but now we built the line finally. We're getting some depth pieces at the running back position. It looks like it'll be like a 60-40 split with the running game first, which Goff needs.
Super chat from Roger Guardo. He says, bring Gurley in, man. We have a running game regardless. Hashtag finally 100% with you. 100% with you, Roger. First off, thank you for that super chat. God bless, man. And with people like you, that's how this channel gets supported. But that is the concept I'm with, Dern. It forces us to run the football. Like, it really does. To me, it's not the same thing than we had when we got LeGarrette Blount or, older running backs such as that. He's younger, and we're actually going to run the football. That's the thing is, I don't think we're going to lie in the passing game like we've done. And I think Todd Gurley, with the familiarity with our quarterback, with Brad Holmes, it's going to help out for sure. We got another $5 super chat from the great Travis Doyley. And I will get to, folks, if I don't get to your question, just repost it, and I promise I will. It's because it's going in quick. First time in years I've brought season tickets, and the Lions need to sign Golden Tate. Antonio Hightower. First off, thank you so much for that super chat. I appreciate you, Travis Doyley. Antonio Hightower, what do you think about this thing that came out today that the Lions got turned down by Golden Tate? Do you think this is legitimate? Because I seen this. Did you see that?
I did hear about that. I heard that when they got turned down by him, that's when they went straight to Gurley, which is a very interesting thing that they went for Golden Tate specifically. I guess they did it just because the wide receiver room is already looking barren. And then you hear about guys like Perryman doing absolutely nothing at camp, but looking horrible. I get that you try to go for a wide receiver. I just don't understand why you didn't go for a younger one. Like, D.D. Westbrook is still out there, and the Lions could scoop in to get him before, because the Chiefs players been trying to recruit him for weeks. I want the Lions to get a guy like him. There's tons of other older receivers out there, but at this point, your receiving core kind of is what it is at this point. So, but I'm not surprised they really went for him, a veteran guy who's played in this city before, who liked playing with this team before. It would just, I can believe it, although I don't really know if that really happened. I could believe it just because of the fact of how bad this wide receiver core is currently.
100%. I guess they could definitely have went that route. It's it's interesting that he actually turned him down if that was the case. But I guess we'll see going forward. But one thing we can't turn down is hitting that like button, folks. Let's get that like button. We got 100 people in the chat. Let's get to at least 75 likes. That would be fan-freaking-tastic because the more likes you get, the more chance that this stream gets out there. And if you're not a subscriber, you're crazy. You're straight nuts. I'm telling you, I don't know how you could be sane and not be a subscriber to this channel because you're watching it anyways. We got a $9.99 super chat from Roger Guardo. Again, thank you so much. He says, take my money, Mike. Keep us in the good work. Huge fan. Great way to end my day of work, listening to you all. Well, I am a huge fan of you. I really appreciate everybody's support, doing this stuff. And God bless you, man. You're awesome. All you guys are awesome there. Darn, tell these people how appreciative we are of them taking time out of the day to listen to us.
Yeah, we like to do this for passion. It's our passion to talk about our team, the NFL in general, and it makes us feel really good when you guys just keep coming back and you say you enjoy listening to us. It's actually a blessing, and we really appreciate it.
100%. Keep up the great work with your channel. Do you guys think Crosby or Big V will get traded? Now, this one's interesting, Dern, because when Dan Campbell had his press conference today, they asked him, do you expect Crosby to be here next week? Because he's not here right now. And he says, yes. He seemed pretty stern. What happens if he doesn't show up?
He's going to get fined, and he doesn't make a lot of money, so I would assume he will be here unless he, demands a trade, which I don't think he would do, but I think he's a little teed off that he's getting put to the back burner again.
What do you think about this, Antonio Hightower, when the head coach stated, he needs to be here? Antonio Hightower.
Oh, yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. I think Crosby does need to be here, especially we've been talking about Sewell may take a little bit of time adjusting the right tackle. Well, a backup move could be you move Sewell to guard for like a week or two or something like that, or for the year. At the end of the day, the true goal of this team is probably to have him at left tackle in the future. Mm-hmm. So really, these are just stepping stones to get him to that point. So if he's really struggling at right tackle, you can throw him in there at guard and throw Crosby at tackle, because at the end of the day, I know Crosby can start at tackle and be solid. I don't know that with Big V, but I know I can throw Crosby in there at tackle and be solid. He does need to be there. He's probably not going because I feel like he probably wants to start. And not only that, it's a contract year. He's only started for 1 year. It's time for him to get his money. He doesn't really have much to show for it except for 1 year. But he kind of needs to be here because this O-line, as good as it is, he's a very important piece currently to how it works.
Yeah, definitely. They need to be here, and they need to be getting to work because this is a whole new team. Just like you stated, it takes a little bit of continuity regarding the offensive line, and that is vital towards the success of all our teams here. And I think that's important. Darren, how do you think the importance of having this continuity start to build right now is important for the success? Because we're going to be talking about Jared Goff in a minute, how he's shining in OTA. But for him to shine, you got to have a good offensive line.
Absolutely. Any quarterback needs a good offensive line, and Stafford is probably the main guy you would look to show why you do. He has all the talent in the world, and he still gets hurt. He throws a lot of interceptions at bad times. It's terrible that our team waited this long to actually put emphasis on the line.
100%. To have the continuity on this line is vital towards anything, but it is getting there, and there's making strides. And today, Antonio Hightower, I don't know if you've heard, but again, when it comes to Jared Goff, per not just the head coach, but per everybody that watched it in the news media was available in OTAs, Jared Goff has been fired. What do you think about this? He's been sharp, nailing targets, looking really good.
I mean, I kind of expected. Jared Goff is a very accurate quarterback. Not only that, our defense isn't that great anyway. So I already expected anyway. Especially out of camp. The one thing I want to hear out of camp is the players playing good, right? We always hear about players playing good at camp. I don't want to hear he's playing bad at camp, and I don't really expect him to be that. I'm just wondering how he's going to look against an NFL defense, a better defense than ours, because as much as we've improved on our defense, it's still got a lot to work on. I'm not surprised to hear about this. I shouldn't say I'm happy. I kind of expected this because even as much as I don't like Jared Goff, I mean, he's not a bad NFL quarterback, right? So, yeah, this is kind of just expected from me.
Okay. I'm happy that we're hearing this. This is kind of what I expected as well when it comes to Jared Goff, his impressions. I was saying this guy's not a window licker. Like I said, I'm not saying he's Joe Montana. I'm just saying he's not Hannah Montana. That's all I'm saying here, folks. I'm not saying he's going to be the greatest thing since sliced bread, but remember, he was a first overall pick 2 years ago. He went to a Super Bowl. He's won playoff games. He put up big numbers in 2018, so it's not like this guy is a mouth breather. Darren, are you excited to hear about this in camp?
Absolutely. Anytime that you can hear that your starting quarterback is actually playing well, looking the part, is huge in my opinion. And like Tone said, our defense probably isn't looking the best right now, but they're also acclimating to a new scheme. And I think that our new quarterback, Goff, has a chip on his shoulder because I think this is the first time he's ever felt that he wasn't wanted. Because he was a California pretty boy. He was first pick overall in the draft. And now feeling that the Rams did not want him, putting that stride himself want to be better.
Hey, I'm feeling you here. I got a good question here from Jay Schultz, and I'm going to ask everybody here on the panel as well. I will get to everybody's questions in a couple minutes. Just want to knock some of these things out first, because there is actually breaking news news. I won't suggest breaking news, but we've had some good news today. I want to cover it before we get to you guys' questions. But here's a great question. Hello, people. Y or N for Gurley? I say Y. Go in the comments section and let me know. Dern, Y for Gurley or N?
As long as that contract is reasonable, definitely a Y.
Antonio Hightower, what say you?
As long as he's not taking up any significant snaps, Y.
Okay, that's 3 Ys. Now let's look in the comment section here. We got Edward Molina. He says, yes, Gurley, go Lions. A subscriber of mine for a long time. He says, absolutely yes. Y on Gurley? Why? I'm a yes, and why it's vexin'. This is crazy, man. I thought there'd be a little more no's because I go to other websites, and there's a lot of no's there. Cy Gray says no, so he is one of those no's. But we got Eric, he says why. Darrell Smiles, why. Bree Johnson, why. Josh Jackson, why. The Carolina guy, and because of Swift. 9 Drinks, why. Sichard Lozia, I'm sure I just destroyed your name. He says no. Corey Batten says no. So the no's are starting to come in. Bit better. Okay, Bree. Big West. Yes, Gurley an upgrade. Yeah, he is an upgrade over Kerryon Johnson. I can't argue with that. CJ with a ton of Ys. Troxel Sports Stream. Make sure you guys subscribe to his channel. He will be live tonight. Troxel Sports Talk, a fun show. D-Town, Goff is going to show that McVay is overrated. It's possible. It's possible, right? Could it be? Could it possibly be? We'll see. Now, wow, Travis Doyle says, to the nah. That's interesting, man, that he said to the nah.
I did not see that from him.
I did not see that from him because
oh my God,
he is a big drinking Kool-Aid. He loves that Kool-Aid, so I'm kind of shocked to see that. Now we got some no's in here, so it's starting to even out a little bit. I'd say probably 55-45 no's to yes. That makes about a lot of sense from what I've been reading. Makes sense there. But guess what, folks? It is 7 o'clock, and it is your time to run the show. So this is the mailbag segment. So if you guys got questions, we just may have some answers. So let us know, and we will get to it. You can ask us directly. One of us, the Dern. You can ask Antonio Hightower. You can ask us all as a group. We are going to get to it. Sam Thamin says, Mike, I'm subscribed. Hey, love it, man. I appreciate you. B. Taylor, Allen Robinson to Detroit for a second-round pick? That would be crazy. I don't know if the Chicago Bears would be willing to do such a thing, but we shall see. But so far, it's about split even when it comes to Todd Gurley. I guess, it really does depend on the contract, Dern. If it's a low-grade contract, that's not going to affect anything. Like, what's the hurt? You know what I'm saying? Like, what does it really hurt? I wouldn't think so.
It shouldn't at all, as long as that contract is probably below $4 million, you would think. That's a good presence in your locker room to teach Swift, like AP did last year, but he's not going to take so many cares away from him like AP did.
100%. We got our first question in, and if I know you guys did do questions earlier, just do a hashtag. If you do a hashtag, I can see it. That's the whole point of it. My eyes can concentrate on it because I'm running 10 things here. Do you still think Swift will get 1,000 yards with Gurley in the mix? I will actually take the under. I think he would get under 1,000 yards just because there's so many backs. Antonio Hightower, what do you think about that?
Can you repeat the question again?
Will Swift get 1,000 yards if we do sign Todd Gurley?
Well, from the way it's looking, it's like it's going to be running back by committee. So I don't know if he's really going to be 1,000-yard rusher, especially the way it's setting up, the way it's looking like it's going to be setting up now. He would either have to get a lot of carries or he would have to do a lot with the carries that he gets.
Did I just lose him for a quick? Okay.
Let's go ahead. They've been talking about Jamal Williams. Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hello? Oh. So they've been talking about Jamal Williams is like the number one running back, and then you already know they're going to be switching all these guys out. So I don't know about this year, but I could see it. I just don't know how it is the way this running back situation is already set up.
Travis Dooley with a $5 super chat. He says, I don't love the Kool-Aid. I like the Kool-Aid. I almost want to say lick the Kool-Aid. Why sip it? Just go straight to licking it, right? Yeah, hey, appreciate you, Travis Doyley. This guy's the MVP. We call him MVP Travis Doyley. So that's his new name now. So you address him, MVP Doyley. Cy Gray. Hey, we love you, Cy Gray. Appreciate you, man. Can't wait for you to get on hopefully next week. He says, hashtag ISN. Should we be in the trade market for a number one wide receiver, Dern? What do you think about this? Should we be in the trade market?
It's really, really hard to say. I want to, but at the same time, how much would that wide receiver cost? I don't want a Julio. I don't want an Odell Beckham Jr. But if you're telling me I could get like a Jarvis Landry for like, I don't know, a third-round pick or something like that, I would be interested in that. But I'm not interested in guys that get hurt all the time, that their contract is absolutely crazy, which I think Jarvis Landry does cost quite a bit, but it's nothing that we couldn't handle. And no locker room cancers. Mm-hmm. So it all depends on the price, their injury history, and I guess how old they are, because if they're up there in age like a Julio, I'm not for it.
Yeah, I'm not for the concept of, giving up a lot of draft capital for something that's going to be a Band-Aid fix. I want something that's going to be here a long time. I always believe in building through the draft. If you do trade for a player, can they be a building block to this team for not just this year, but next couple of years? So a younger player, someone with a higher ceiling from a longer aspect. But we got a question here from Bryce S. Bryce says, would you sign for safety more Trey Boston or Malik Hooker? Also, I didn't know this. Manny Melifonwu has a bro in the NFL named Obi. Yes, Obi Melifonwu, and he played safety as he needs a free agent. Yes, Obi Melifonwu was drafted just a couple years ago. I think it was like 4 years ago. 3-4 years ago. And yes, when it comes to the safety who I'd love to get, Bryce, I would love to get Malik Hooker because I think it's not going to cost a lot, and it would be a one-year deal. He has talent, but just can he stay on the field? If he can stay on the field, you're getting a deal. And if it's a one-year deal and he's injured and he can't get on the field, you're not losing a whole lot. So it's not that big of a deal. from that aspect. Folks, let's get those likes up. We're at 69 likes with 134 in the building. Let's get those likes up, and we will continue to answer your questions. I'm going to throw this one to Antonio Hightower here and see what he has to think about this question here. Did you see Lomas Brown take on Sewell? I personally didn't see it. Did you see it, Tone?
No, I did not see it either.
Well, I did not see it. I don't think the Dern has saw it either. So I'm gonna have to. Sorry, I can't really answer that question because I did not see it. But we got a $5 super chat. There are rumors that Brandon Cooks on the trade block. Should we trade for him? I think yes. He'd be better than trading for Julio Jones or Beckham Jr. What do you think about that, Antonio Hightower? Should we trade for Cooks?
I don't. It depends what we're giving up. It really depends what we're giving up. I give up like a third for him. Maybe a third for him. He's not too old, and still going to be on the contract for a little bit. And I heard he restructured his deal a little while ago, so his contract's a little lower. I'd do it if I've been like a third. If I'm getting up like a third, something cheap, yeah, I'd do it. He wouldn't be a bad guy to add.
So that'd be basically. So what you're trying to say is basically you'd be giving up the Kenny Golladay, a third-round draft pick. That's what we're going to get in compensation for a Brandon Cooks. So that'd be kind of what you'd look at out there to the fandom there. I still really don't want to trade for a wide receiver, but if they do for a Cooks, I guess I wouldn't be as mad as if they did it for something bigger. I just don't like giving up draft capital. Eric says, do you think we can start getting players to come to Detroit with the new coaching staff? Yeah, I do. You hear it all today. You heard all the press conferences. They had it today, and a lot of the players are loving what they've seen. The press conferences, they were just loving the concept of the new coaches. What did Tracy Walker say? I'm having fun again. I'm being me. When it comes to Jelani Tavai, I'm not fat anymore. So you can just tell. You can tell literally the coaching staff absolutely is a big difference. And to me, that's really good because we cannot have what happened to us last year and the year before and the year before that, because that was a whole big mess of suck. Dern, do you think they're having a good change with the coaching staff, the players?
Yeah, before you would just hear negatives about the coaching staff, how Matt Patricia told a player, you can't do this, you're not good enough, stop doing this to that other player because you're not nearly as good as him. None of the players liked him, very few at least. And it feels like the players are hyped about this coaching staff. Mr. Campbell, Mr. Glenn, Hank Fraley, they like the staff so far, and I feel that it's going to spread in the next couple of years, and a lot of players are going to want a part of that.
Who do you think will be the breakout star on defense, Antonio Hightower?
A breakout star. I think I'm going to have to go with Julian, and if anybody.
Okay.
Probably going to have to be Julian. I would say Okuda, but I think he's going to take a little bit of time. It depends really what our defense is going to be. If we're going to be a little bit more about zone heavy scheme, like a lot bit more cover 2, I think it's going to take him a little time. If we're running like some cover 3 or some quarters, I think he could be the breakout star. But I say Julian, dude is super talented. Only reason he went in the third round is because he was injured. In my opinion, he was really like a late first round talent. If anything, can do it all, can rush the passer, can cover. The real question is, how healthy does he look? Because one of the biggest things about him was that leg. And he's already acknowledged that was a weakness. And if he can get his leg back strong, it's going to really help with his run defense. As a pass rusher, I think he's already going to improve in that, especially with Romeo there. I don't think it's really a coincidence that as soon as we got Julian, Romeo improved. I think they're really going to help each other get better. And he's like the most potential we have in terms of a pass rusher on this roster, because we don't have a number 1 pass rusher. We have like some good number 2s. Mm-hmm. We don't have a true number 1. When that guy come out there, you're kind of worried about him. And he could be that guy. I don't think he's really going to be that guy, but he could be that guy.
Here's a question, and I'll answer this one. Will the offense or defense shine for the Lions this season? I'm going to say, what do you mean by shine? I think that the offense will be much better than the defense. I think you're going to see it's more polished. You got folks like TJ Hockenson, and the running game is going to be absolutely, I think, much better. The offensive line is going to shine. I think the defense is going to take a much bigger step forward. I want to consider that shining, not like a top 10 defense. I think the defense could be, hopefully low 20s, just kind of looking at it, just because of what the last regime did was so damaging. But in shining, I'll say a specific player. I think TJ Hawkinson's definitely going to shine. I think if you want to do a player that you want to get on fantasy, get TJ Hockenson if you can. Hashtag, why trade picks for a wide receiver when free agents are free, Dern? Why would you do that?
If you don't like any of the wide receivers, Goff, Golden Tate in free agency, I don't know why they asked him. He's 32 years old, and he wants to go to a contender anyway. But it really depends if there is a guy that you really like that has maybe some camaraderie with Goff already, that is a special skill set. If you can't find in free agency, then you have to look elsewhere or wait till the draft next year.
Comment in the stream right now. I want to know what state your guys are in. It's just simple. If you're in Michigan, do MI. If you're in California, do a CA. I want to know where all my fans are from. I loved seeing it last week. We had people from Brazil and Germany, Mexico. Where are you guys from? I know a lot of people definitely going to be in Michigan, but I'm just curious to see where everyone's at here. Where is everyone at here? And I will get to the questions, folks. I promise. I will get to the questions, and if I do miss it, hey, just repost it. I'll get to it. Hopefully McNeil show up. That would be nice. I agree. Do you agree that Dan Orlowski saying that the Lions O-line is the best in the NFL? That's an interesting statement. Best in the NFL, I'm not going to say that. Top 5, I'll say that. I will say that. Michigan, Allen. Virginia, Cy. Michigan, Dern from Minnesota. We have a Harold from Colorado, Circardo, Michigan, Detroit, B. Taylor, all the way from the D, Samanthian at New York City, Bo Gargis from Michigan, Wisdom from Orlowski, it'd be nice, Eric from Michigan, Jorge Starbucks, got him, Travis Doyley, Coast Guard City, USA, Grand Haven. Ultra Combo! Hey, that's fun going over to Grand Haven. That's just about a 15-minute drive for me. Kalamazoo. Hey, I love Zoo. There we go.
Been there.
What's that?
I've been there.
Oh, yeah, you got to be Kalamazoo. How can you not be in Kalamazoo? How many kneecaps could a Campbell chuck if a Campbell could chuck kneecaps? I think that's what it was. We got Goffney, South Carolina.
2.
We get 2? Oh, come on, man. He's got to have. Dude, if there's 11 on defense, 11 players, that's 22 kneecaps.
Because every time you knock him down, he takes 1, and then he said 2, and then it's going to take 3 shots,
Okay.
2 at least there.
Why screw up our rebuild by trading away our draft picks and wasting our cap space? Antonio Hightower, what would be an answer to this?
I mean, it just depends on your player. Some players can forward your rebuild. And, I mean, the players we're talking about, you're not going to give up any serious draft picks. I mean, we're not talking about giving away firsts or seconds. You can get, like, thirds. I'm talking about, like, thirds, fourths later. Cap space, I mean, from what it seems like, we're going to have a lot of cap space. And, we do got to talk about, in the past, players haven't really wanted to come to Detroit. It's a smaller market. Team hasn't had much success. And it's going to take some while to get some success. And if you're not going to be as big market team, if you're not going to be a big market team and you're not going to be that great, then players aren't really going to want to come. So it just depends on the player, right? We shouldn't be going after a guy like Julio Jones. That would be an example of wasting your picks and cap space because he's 32 years old. If we give like a third or a fourth for a guy like Brandon Cooks, he's youngish. He's on the contract for the next. He got this year and next year, and who knows how free agency is going to shake out next year. It just really depends on who you're going for.
Yeah, I totally get it. I'd like to maybe a 4th-round pick, is what it is. I just don't like giving up 3rd-round picks. OnePride Panthers record with the 9th easiest. And, hey, that's good for your team. We got one of the hardest. Well, currently we got one of the hardest. Who knows what it actually eventually is? Because you don't know until you know. What do you think Julio will go? Great question here. How about this, man? How about to scare the NFC West? He goes to Seattle Seahawks, Dern. Pair him up with DK Metcalf.
I mean, in theory, that sounds pretty good, but you also have Lockett there, too, that they just paid. I don't know if they could really afford him. I don't know how much cap space they have, but are they going away from the run game just to make Wilson do everything? And let's not forget that they didn't upgrade their line from what I know, and Wilson was already complaining about that O-line.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know, man. I just think the NFC West is being stacked right now. I think it's being stacked, and they're like it's like the nuclear arms race between the United States and Russia back decades ago. They're who could get to the moon first, who could get to outer space. Right now, That's how the NFC West is going. So a lot of stuff going on there.
Lose to the Bucks first.
What's that? Go to the Bucks first?
I was about to say, who can lose to the Bucks first?
That's true. I do
Nobody's beating that team.
I think the Bucks are going back to the Super Bowl as well. I do believe that. Folks, make sure you hit that like on this stream. We got 152 in the building with 78 thumbs. Can we get to 100? Let's get to 100. It is a travesty that there's 152 in the building and 78 likes. Let's get to 100 likes in this video and show, because I am a partner at Chat Sports. Let's show Chat Sports. They're big media, right? They're bigger than we are. Let's show them that the OnePride Nation's for real, because I tell them all the time that, just because we're Detroit, we have a fan base. Yeah, a little cross-eyed when I say it. They may shake their head a little bit, but it's true. We do actually have a hardcore fan base over here. What's up, Cheryl Hindenburg? Hey, appreciate you coming in here, Cheryl. I haven't seen you in a little bit. I like seeing folks that hasn't been here in a while. 83 thumbs up. We're getting closer and closer. If you guys got questions, folks, we may have answers. You just got to let us know. So go ahead and do a hashtag. We will answer any questions you want. Hashtag with a question. We'll get to it. Talk about Kenny Golladay with the New York Giants. What do you think, Dern? What's Kenny G going to do over there with New York?
Honestly, I'm not sure. He's really talented, but I don't think Danny Dimes can throw into those tight windows that Stafford could. And we all know, as Lions fans, we know that Golladay does not get a lot of separation. So it all depends on their run game, if Barkley can stay healthy, and can Danny Dimes throw those tight window spots.
Yeah, I think we'll see, man. It all depends on the quarterback for that team. I think they got a lot of talent. I mean, the Saquon Barkley, he comes back. They do got talent at wide receiver, drafted one in the first round here. So I think their team could be pretty good. It just depends. It all depends, though. What stadium do you want to go to? I want to go to the Las Vegas Stadium. That stadium looks ridiculous. I like it. I'd like to go to L.A. I was going to do it, but then I decided to back out at the last minute because why not back out? What stadium would you like to go to, Dern?
Probably Ford Field. I haven't been there yet.
What?
I would really like to go sometime.
You got to go to Ford Field, man. We're here right now.
I'm right. But it's been really hard living in Minnesota to get there. So
yeah. Ford Field's nice, bro. It's real nice. And by the way, training camp, I think, is in 6 weeks. The Gridiron Blitz and I will be there. We're going to show up at the same time. We're going to hang out. So we will tell everybody what days we decide to show up at the training camp so we can chat it up with everybody and have a good time talking Detroit Lions football. $5 super chat from Travis Doyley, the GOAT. Doyley says, yes, it's definitely a travesty. We need to get more likes on this video. Hey, I 100% agree with you, Travis. It's not a it's not a Travis Doyley, which is great. It's a travesty. That's facts. If I missed your question, I apologize. Just repost it, and I will try to get to it. And if I missed it many times, put that in the comments section. It's flying up quick. You still have the Vikings twice. Nobody is talking about them. I will say the Vikings are a good football team because they draft so well. Antonio Hightower, what do you think about the Minnesota Vikings?
The Vikings are a weird story because they always draft so well, but then you realize, oh wait, their quarterback is Kirk Cousins, and you start getting less and less worried about them. I'm very interested to see how the corners are going to do because as much as they've been drafting well and they've been developing well, they haven't really done well with corners. They drafted Gladney a few years ago. They drafted another guy, I forget his name, last year. They also drafted Dantzler last year, and in that scheme, corners are very huge, and it's part of the reason why that defense wasn't as amazing as it usually is. Got to see how Danielle Hunter looks coming back. Offensive line, it's probably going to be amazing. They picked up Darrisaw, and they picked up Wyatt Davis to add on with Garrett Bradbury and Brian O'Neill. They got arguably 2 top 10 receivers. It's just the offense. There's talent everywhere, but it's so much unknown at the moment that I can't really even speak on it. They got a good coach too, but it's just so much unknown with the Vikings right now.
I'd love to go to the Atlanta Stadium. I think that's a nice-looking one as well. I do like to go to indoor stadiums a little bit better than outdoor just because you don't know what the weather's going to be like. Yeah, I'm a little soft in that way. I do like it. We got Eric saying it. Please, people, hit that like and subscribe. Yes, hey, I appreciate it. Absolutely. Do that. Any questions? You sure about that, Mike? Artist, formerly known as PC Payload. Look, we're not going to talk about what you want to talk about. We already know what you want to talk about, what TA talks about.
I'm giving her a D, man, a strong D.
I know that's the type of stuff you want to get there. Hey, this is a family show, and we're talking about Detroit Lions. Who will be the breakout late round pick for Detroit? How about? He wasn't drafted. Tommy Kramer, offensive line. I've been talking about him since we picked him up. I think he has a potential to be a backup. Fairly quick, Dern. What do you think?
You know my answer, man. It's Amon-Ra St. Brown, 4th round pick.
Come yeah.
On. I think he's gonna shine. I think he's gonna be the day 1 slot, and I think he's gonna shine in this offense. I think that Goff is gonna look to him and Hawkinson quite often.
This may shock people here, Super Freddy, but my favorite team is the Oregon Ducks. You're gonna say, why the Oregon Ducks? Well, because I was born in Oregon. I do live in Michigan. I was born in Oregon, moved to Michigan when I was a young fellow, moved back to Oregon when I was a young fellow, stayed there for more years, and when I was a little bit older, I moved back to Michigan. So I'm an Oregon Duck and Detroit Lion fan because they don't have a football team over there unless you're a Seattle Seahawk fan. But I love my Ducks. What about you, Darren? What's your favorite team?
You guys are going to laugh, but I mean, I started liking them before they started winning. Alabama. The reason I became an Alabama fan was because I was dating, or my daughter's mom, they were from Alabama, so I started liking them, just watching with her dad and her. So, I mean, and then they started winning after, but everyone's going to say, oh, you like them only because they win.
Sweet home Alabama. I got it. Dern, Tone, what is your favorite college team?
It's actually the same as Dern. My favorite college team is Alabama. I became an Alabama fan a long time ago. Honestly, when I was a kid, I just started picking random teams, and it is one of the few teams I actually stuck with. Because I remember, I live in Georgia, so I've seen them play Georgia a few times, and every time they play them, I go like, man, Georgia's getting smacked. And then, I just started liking them. I mostly started liking them because I liked Amari Cooper. Then eventually, I just started liking some more of the players. I just started liking the team. I'm also a UCF fan, but I was a UCF fan because I liked their band song on the old NCAA games, and then somehow they just became good eventually, and I was like, oh, guess they're just good now.
Okay. Question here. Who would you like to pick up in free agency to help this team? My super chat by MVP Travis Doyley. Appreciate you for that super chat, buddy. You know that a lot. A individual I'd like to pick up, obviously, I do think Todd Gurley. I think that's going to be guaranteed. But Malik Hooker would be the safety. I really think we need help at safety. That would be the guy I would get. Maybe even look at a linebacker. I think Williamson, you could probably get him in here. He was traded to the Jets. I think he's still a free agent. And I'd like to get the safety position upgraded. Malik Hooker seems like the guy I would go with. Dern, is there a specific free agent player you would like to get?
I was going to say probably Malik Hooker or Trey Boston. We really need that second safety opposite of Tracy Walker.
Hey, absolutely. Definitely. We need to have that safety, man, because Will Harris scares me a little bit. We got a $5 super chat from Eric Minion. What kind of numbers do y'all think TJ will put up this season? Oh, let me start off. How about I say 850 yards, 9 touchdowns. Dern, what say you?
Excuse me. Let's see here. I think he's going to have a better year this year than he has previously. His yards last year were 723 with 6 touchdowns. Let's go with 875 yards with 10 touchdowns.
Woo! I like it. Eric Minion with a sick super chat and a great question. Appreciate you. Tone, what is the numbers of one T.J. Hockenson?
I think I might have to go with like 800 yards, 10 touchdowns. Yeah, that's probably what I'm going to go with. I think he's really going to have a big year as he should have always had.
Absolutely. Yeah, I know what you're thinking, PC. I know what you're thinking there. This is what you're thinking. We know it. We got an idea. You've been a sub for mine for a long time. And for sure,
Yoga fire
is when you do comments like that. It's Yoga Fire. Let's see here. TJ, 900 yards, touchdowns. By Go Lions. Randy Schaub, 1,200 yards, 15 touchdowns. Oh, my God. That's all pro right there, man. That's all pro. Son of Apollo, I haven't seen you in a minute. What's up, man? Cy Gray, he says 800 yards, 8 touchdowns. Well, let's see what the comment everyone thinks. What do you guys think TJ's going to get? Throw it in the comment section. Since everyone's wanting to have fun with the TJ thing, let's freaking go and see what you get. I say 9 touchdowns, 850, 883 yards, 11 touchdown with fumbles. Oof, fumbles. TJ, you need to hold on to that football, man. Remember when Brandon Pettigrew, was that him when he got the ball and he was running? We're playing the Tennessee Titans, Dern, and the defender took the ball out of his hands while he was running and ran it back? He was running because he caught the...
Ebron.
Was that E-Bum? That was E-Bum.
I'm pretty sure.
Okay, that was a crazy play, man. I was so mad, bro. Yeah, that was right. E-Bum. That was E-Bum. Holy smokes, this guy says 1,100 yards, 16 touchdowns, 9 drinks, #Lions. Man, I need some of that. Well, Mike, so long. Great live stream. Well, appreciate you, Sam Themin. You're awesome. Mental Life, 1,000 yards, 10 touchdowns, 965, 9 touchdowns, 912. Fellas, I say 8 for 650. Okay. Do you watch Chucky Child's Play? Are we talking about
don't know what that is.
John Gruden or a movie? We got 8 touchdowns plus 1,000 yards by Travis Doyley, son of Apollo, 6 touchdowns, 600. Okay, he's a little bit lower on it. Mark Orem says 800 for 12. Super Freddy, 1,200 for 14, 900 for 10, 925. So we're getting fairly close there when it comes to these numbers for TJ Hockenson. Appreciate everyone coming in and giving your concept of what you think is going to take place. 75 catches, 899. Oh, my God. I got to click this quick. So, Dern, what do you think Jared Goff is going to do? What is his numbers in 2021?
He was, I believe, less than 100 yards from 4K last year with the Rams. I think he had 13 interceptions. This is off the top of my head. 13 picks and I think 20 touchdowns. I'm hoping he will be around the same yards, like 23 to 25 touchdowns and hopefully around 8 picks.
Okay, Antonio Hightower, what do you think that Jared Goff's going to do this year?
Jared Goff, if we're talking about a stats projection, I would go with like 45,000 yards, 24 TDs, 27 INTs. Yeah, that's about right.
27 interceptions, you said?
Oh, yeah.
Stop it right now.
I think we're going to...
27 interceptions? Come on, man.
I'll lower it to 20. I mean, he was what? He was 20-13 last year, and he's playing in an offense that's going to – anybody put up 14 points on us, we're going to be playing from behind from sometimes. And in those situations with these weapons, it's just not a great situation in my opinion for him.
I think that's a ton of interceptions. I don't know if that's even possible. I guess if you're Nathan Peterman, but my God, man, that's a massive.
Jameis Winston.
Jameis Winston, yeah, he had, didn't he have 33? Was it 33 and 33?
Like 30 and 31.
Oh my God!
Probably.
So we got Randy Schaub here. He says 30 touchdowns, 4,500 yards, 16 picks. Wow, that's quite a bit. 25 touchdowns, 9 picks. That's yeah.
Better.
Are you guys drunk? No, I'm not drunk. I'll give you my prediction. I think Jared Goff will do 3,600 yards, 24 touchdowns to 11 interceptions. I'm going to lower it because I don't think they're going to pass that much. I just don't think we're going to. Let's see here. 4,000 yards, 32 touchdowns, 8 picks. 4K, 25 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. I like that one, Mental Life. Good one. Jorge, 38. Whoa, 510 rushing. Holy smokes. I think we have a running quarterback here. 22 to 28. Okay. Joking. Fire by Super Freddy. Hey, folks, if you got questions, let us know. And we're going to answer them because this segment's for you. You get it one chance a week on Thursday where you guys rule the roost. So let us know anything you want. You can ask us again. You can ask me personally. You can ask Tone is smoking. Hashtag Tone is smoking. Before I was going to even repeat it, I think he is. I'm with you, man. He is always left field when it comes to stuff. I think he is smoking something. Let me see if I can get... Well, I can say that.
It's my quarterback.
Yeah, it's my quarterback, man. We can't have that, man.
I'm giving her a D, man. A strong D.
Yeah, he definitely... He got something going on there. We all have to figure out who is going to have the most receptions, wide receivers-wise. That's true. That's going to be a question. Who has the most receptions, wide receiver-wise, Darren? I love this question.
I think Hawkinson gets the most receptions, but he's not a wide receiver. Let's go. Man, this is hard. I have it between either Williams or St. Brown, I think.
Ooh, I do. I think St. Brown definitely could. Antonio Hightower, who gets the most yards this season, wide receiver-wise?
I'd say TJ, even though it's technically he kind of really is a wide receiver. But I'm going to have to go with St. Brown. He's probably the best wide receiver we got on this roster right now. I'd say Terrell Williams, but I'm not really confident he's going to stay healthy. See, I guess I'll go with Bonner St. Brown.
Is the D going to show up this year? Mental Life, I think it's going to show up much better than it did last year, but last year was historically bad. It was really bad. We really need to understand that this regime was given a really bad hand. They were giving a lot of bad players on this defense from top to bottom, and I think just by having a new coaching staff, it's going to elevate the defense from 32 to probably, I'm hoping, like 21, 22-ish. And yeah, they may not be saying a lot, and you say, that's terrible. We were in such a net negative that to take that big of a jump in 1 year would be significant. I just think with the defensive interior being beefed up the way it is, it's going to help stop the run, and that's going to really help. But we still have issues at linebacker. We still have issue at safety. And our cornerbacks are fairly young. Still, Jeffrey Okudah is just coming in his second year. Amani Oruwariye, it would be his third year. We do got Quentin Dunbar. But it's going to progress. I think from week 1 to week 17, you're going to see a much different looking team. They'll start to get better. But when we take about a significant jump about this football team, I would suggest waiting until next year, after we get a ton of draft picks for this defense. And I think we're going to really focus on the middle of the field. We're probably going to get an edge rusher, and we'll probably get a safety. And we got a ton of draft picks next year for us to really take that next step on defense. Let's see here. Year 3, we're a playoff team. Question mark by Cy Gray. Yes, I say year 3, we are a playoff team. And if we're not a playoff team by year 3, there's something going on. Because the Detroit Lions, when they went 0-16, were a playoff team in 3 years. From 2009 and then 2011. This team is not as bad as the 0-16 team when it comes to talent. That talent was there was nothing there in offense. There's nothing on defense. On this team, there's actually some pieces. You got an offensive line. You got T.J. Hockenson. You got a good running game. Dern, do you think that this team is a playoff team year 3?
If everything goes correctly, it shouldn't take 3 years. Maybe next year. Man, I really want to believe it. It's just really hard to tell because so many things can happen. Like if out of nowhere the Lions do really well, people or coaches like Aaron Glenn or Hank Fraley could be snatched by other teams. So we just don't know what's going to happen. I hope so, though.
How many draft picks will we have next year? I'm just looking at it. I think it's going to be around 12 to 13-ish. Just depends on, what happens, because there's some of the players that are really on the threshold of getting a conditional draft pick, and we got to see if we can get it. We know we're going to get one from Kenny Golladay. We're probably going to get one from maybe Marvin Jones Jr. gets one. I know Jamal Agnew actually got a bigger contract than Marvin Jones Jr. Then plus, obviously, we got the first-round draft pick. So I'm going to say around 12 to 13, plus or Mattis. And if we decide to trade Tyrell Crosby before the trade deadline, if they do draft pick there, you can add one to it. But we're not 100% sure if they're going to do that. 2 Super Chats in a row. $5 Super Chat from Avery Giovanni, Spirit of Detroit Podcast. Hey, what's up? Good, bro. Don't like Gurley, but three-headed monster would be dope. First off, everybody, you need to make sure you subscribe to Avery Giovanni, Spirit of Detroit Podcast. He is a friend of mine. He is an individual that serves his country. He's got fantastic content, dives deep. Make sure you subscribe to his channel. I like him. He can come on the podcast whenever he wants to get on. Subscribe to his channel. Appreciate the $5 Super Chat. I like it, Avery, for the fact I don't think he's an every down guy. I think he's going to be a third down guy. That's what I kind of give it. A 3rd and 2. He got 9 touchdowns last year because he was killing up that goal line, and that's something that we were hurting last year, is getting in touchdowns in the red zone. That's something that, man, we came away with too many field goals, Dern. We need to have touchdowns.
I agree completely. I feel like a lot of people forget about those 9 touchdowns. He wasn't bad. I mean, he was dealing with a really bad defense on that team. They had to come back from behind a lot. That offensive line he was working with isn't that great. Yeah, his knees are bad, but he's still serviceable.
100%. I think $5 Super Chat from Travis Doyley, MVP Travis Doyley. I think we're going to be a top 10 run stuffing defense and a bottom 10 pass stopping defense. Antonio Hightower, what do you think about this comment?
I don't know if we're going to be a top 10 run stopping defense. As much as I like the D tackles, run stopping is much more than D tackles. One of the reasons our run defense was bad so year wasn't because of the D tackles, because the linebackers weren't doing their job. And I'm not sure it's going to happen in this regime. I'm not sure it's going to happen this year. I don't really trust anybody other than like Collins. another part of it, we haven't really talked about it. A lot of the teams we're going against aren't going to be running up the middle. Teams like the 49ers, the Packers, the Vikings, for example, all those teams, Rams, those are more outside zone teams. So that's going to be put more pressure on our edges. And while I know Trey Flowers can stop the run as an edge, Romeo wasn't that great last year, and Julian wasn't that great in college. I think we're going to be a top half rush defense. I definitely agree with this bottom 10 pass defense, though. Corners is not really a lot. Is got to count in the fact it's going to be a brand new defense that a bunch of players are going to learn. Linebackers wise, there's nobody. I mean, other than Jamie, who's really that great in coverage. In terms of the pass rush, we don't really we have we might have a top 20 pass rush, but we're not going to be threatening many quarterbacks. So yeah, I think we won't be a top 10 rushing run stopping defense, but I do agree with the fact we're going to be a bottom 10 pass stopping defense.
$2.99 super chat from Matthew Wren. Thank you so much. He says Lions record 9-8. Matthew, I hope so. That would be very nice. Dern, what is your prediction for the Detroit Lions record?
Man, it's pretty broad because you just never know. I have lowest probably 4 and highest probably 8.
Okay.
It's
what do you think,
broad.
Antonio Hightower? What's your win-loss record?
It's kind of tough. So I'm stuck between 2-15 or 4-13.
Oh my God!
I think I might go with 4. I'm gonna go with 4-13, man. This schedule is insanely tough. We're gonna be playing a lot of really good teams. 49ers,
We're playing a lot of bad
Rams.
teams as well.
True, but we are also a bad team. Like the Bengals are a bad team, but we're also a bad team. I gotta go with 4-13. I think in order for us to go more than that, I think a lot of players are gonna really have to break out and step up. And the problem is it's just so much happening. Got a scheme change, going against so many good teams, playoff teams. Now I will say, if Aaron Rodgers leaves, I'll give us 6-7 wins.
Okay. Hey, and it does kind of feel like he's gone. Doesn't it? Doesn't it feel like he is leaving, folks? I think so. I think he's done. $4.99 super chat from Cy Gray. Over and under 6 wins for the Lions this season. First off, Cy, appreciate you, man. I can't wait to get you on. Hopefully you're on next week. Cy Gray is one of our guys who loves to get on and talk Detroit Lions. Appreciate for that super chat. You just heard Antonio Hightower. He's definitely doing the hate. And yeah, that was a massive hate. I think 6 to 7 wins right now. If Aaron Rodgers does leave, it could get like that a little bit more. Toasty! And you kind of already heard from the Dern, he's in the same kind of boat as I am. 9 Drink says, that's BS. No way. I love it. Hey, we got another super chat from Travis Doyley. 10-7, baby. Hey, that would be nice. I'd love 10-7. MVP Travis Doyley killing it. Dern,
He's
go
very
ahead.
consistent with that too.
He's been consistent. I hope so. I hope so. I'd hope for 16-0, but I don't. It's not happening. But I hope it. I'd hope it. Let's see. Frog Crop. Hey, Frog Crop. Hey, he's a member of mine. Appreciate you, Frog. Getting in here. I haven't seen you in a little bit. He says, so I don't really understand how you figure that we're going to be worse than we were last year. I don't think we're going to be worse than last year. I just think our schedule is worse than last year. That's the thing. I think we're actually going to be.
And our roster is worse.
I don't know. I think it's better.
I don't know about that.
I think it's
we got
better.
better O-line, but wide receivers wise, you lost. I mean, Kenny wasn't healthy a lot, but he helped us win some games. You lost Marvin. He's better than any wide receiver on this team currently. You lost Amendola. He's just, solid slot guy. Defensively, we probably got better, but that's not. You were 32. It's kind of it's kind of hard not to get better from that. Quarterback-wise, we got better. We got a better O-line, though. Better running back core. But it's that schedule. It's really the schedule. I think we probably have the hardest schedule in the NFL right now. That's really the problem with the schedule.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it, Dern. What about you?
It's really hard for me to say that we're going to be worse when we had the worst scoring defense in history. That's worse than 0-16. And I don't believe that the defense is going to be that terrible because Matt Patricia should never been a head coach. His scheme should never be a thing. He should never be a head coach ever again. So I feel that I haven't seen it. I know Aaron Glenn is a rookie defensive coordinator, but he also brought in Dom Capers, which Don Capers has done some really good things in this league. So I don't believe that we're going to be ranked 32 defense again.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to be that bad, man. That was really bad. Last year, that was really bad. I think just the coaching staff completely elevates this, even from the roster-wise. It was really bad last year. Last year was horrible, and I think when we lose games this year, we're going to be competitive. It's not going to be like giving up or getting destroyed, dominated type of thing. I think we're going to be very competitive. We're going to be a hard-nosed football team, something that I've coveted for multiple years. And the last 3 years was garbage. It was a hot mess of trash. I don't think it's going to be like that. I think the sky is the limit for this regime. When you're showing up with a race car helmet on to your press conference and you're a head coach, I love it. That is, if you haven't seen the picture, folks, Dan Campbell showed up in a race car helmet, and it was tight he was talking about, and this is the type of team we need to have, folks. But we have been on for nearly an hour and 15 minutes, and this is the time where we got to say our adios to everybody because it is time to get off the show. And I'm going to first throw this one to the great Antonio Hightower. What do you got to say to the folks when we close this bad boy out?
It was great coming here to talk with you guys today. Jared Goff's going to have more INTs than touchdowns, and the Detroit Lions are going to have a top 5 pick.
And again.
All I got to say to that is, folks, I disagree with that, and I just think it's
Tate.
But that's okay. We all got different opinion. Dern, what do you got to say to the folks when we close this bad boy out?
I disagree with everything he said. It's the same thing he says every time he leaves. It was great to jump on and talk with y'all. He doesn't change it at all. Love it, Tone. Even though he is correct, it's been a while since been on technical issues the last couple weeks, but it's something that we all love to do is to talk with you guys, and we really appreciate you always showing up. You guys are the MVPs, and I hope to be on next week.
You will all be on next week if you want to be on. That's how we roll here in Infinite Sports Network because the issues are pretty much behind us. I spent a lot of time in this setup, and hopefully you guys all enjoyed it. Countless hours, and this is for you to have a better visual, to really get a more comprehensive look when you're going to listen to your Detroit Lions, because this is YouTube, not MicTube. So I want to make sure that you guys got a good comprehensive look. I appreciate everybody showing out, all the super chats. You guys are absolutely awesome. God bless every one of you. Hopefully some of you guys show up for training camp in 6 weeks. I want to meet everybody. So show up, we'll talk some football, we'll have some fun. Hey, maybe we'll go to a bar, get something to eat afterwards. I don't know. We know the Gridiron Blitz, he likes to dabble in a little bit of drinks here and there. So make sure to get ready for that time as well. Maybe I'll go ahead to Detroit Tigers game as well. But as we head out, make sure you go ahead and hit that like button so this stream can get out to the folks that weren't here. And